Son, have mercy. Y'all, I'm just warning you beforehand. We are going to dance with the light today. Look at this, bathed in sunlight. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Vanessa, and I would like to officially welcome you to my YouTube channel. This has been a long time coming, y'all, and I don't know if there could be a more appropriate first video than how to overcome the fear of taking action. Cause you know, I'm just out here walking the walk as I talk the talk. No, do not ever do that again. For the longest time, starting a YouTube channel has been on my bucket list. I would literally be like, okay, this year, I'm gonna do it, and then not do it. But finally, I'm doing it, and I'm so excited because getting to this point has been a combination of different factors, and I cannot wait to share all of those with you guys because ultimately that's what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be me sharing my journey with you guys towards creating a life that I absolutely love and do not need to periodically take breaks from. Yeah, I know, that's really good, right? I wish I came up with that, but got it from an Instagram quote. So I'll be sharing lessons and insights that I've picked up along the way and will continue to learn on this journey. And I also look forward to hearing from you guys where you all are at in your own personal journey, and maybe we can grow together. But for today's video, I want to talk about taking action and that pesky little thing that tends to keep us from doing the things that we deeply desire to do in our lives. Now, if you read the title of this video, then you're probably clued into what that is. Yes, fear. So what is fear? Fear can be defined in many different ways and can take on many different forms. But the way I like to see it is that fear is sort of like a self-protection mechanism. You see, your brain's primary task is to keep you safe. Its next priority after that is to make and keep you happy. Now, if there's a toss-up between keeping you safe and making you happy, keeping you safe is going to win out every single time. Now, let's illustrate this by way of example. So let's say you have a favorite bakery. And at your favorite bakery, they sell this delicious vanilla chocolate glazed donut and they sprinkle Oreos on top of it or something. So you had a long day at work and you decide to treat yourself. You're just like, oh my gosh, that donut would make me so happy right now. So you drive up to your favorite bakery in the evening and you realize that, you know what, it's a little bit dark, but anyway, you are so excited about your donut. So you get out, and as you're making your way to the bakery, you realize that standing right in front of the entrance to the bakery is this shadowy figure, and they seem to be holding what appears to be a knife. Listen, this is not even up for discussion, okay? Stuff the donut, you're getting out of there. So this is a primary example of how your brain will prioritize your safety over your pleasure or happiness in any given moment. Now, this is a really cool feature to have when you're in a life-threatening situation. The problem is your brain doesn't do very well sometimes in distinguishing between what is actually life-threatening and what is only perceived to be life-threatening. So, man with knife, definitely life-threatening. Pursuing a dream or goal where you could potentially experience embarrassment or discomfort, rejection, humiliation. I know those things feel life-threatening in the moment when you're going through them, but trust me, you will not actually die from experiencing these things. I know, I've checked. So you need to understand that anytime you step outside of your comfort zone and you try and do something different, you will probably experience the emotions I just described. And that in turn will trigger that fear response in your brain, which is going to try and bring you back to where it's safe. So then how do you bypass the brain's natural self-defense mechanism that can actually keep you from doing those things that you know are going to make you feel happy and fulfilled in the long run, but in the present moment, your brain is literally just like, mayday, mayday, we're all gonna die. Here's 2 things that you can do. So the first thing you want to do is you want to stop letting fear be a valid reason for you not to do something. So here's the thing. The only reason why fear is a problem or an obstacle we think we need to overcome is because we make it so. Now let me let you in on a little secret, okay? Come in. Listen close. The successful people that you aspire to be like, they are all experiencing the same emotions that you're experiencing. They are feeling the same fears that you're feeling. In fact, they may be feeling it more intensely because they are actually putting themselves out there in the line of fire. The only difference then between you and them lies in what you're making the fear mean. The successful person doesn't look at fear as a valid reason not to pursue something. In fact, they've trained themselves to look at fear as something that could potentially be guiding them in the direction that they need to be going. So here's a random example to illustrate the point further. When I was younger, I used to love cartoons. Yeah, who am I kidding? I still love them. So one of my favorite shows to watch back then was actually Ben 10. Hashtag Team Gwen and Kevin. So in one of the episodes, they were looking for the map of infinity. I think it was around the end of season 1, those final episodes. So they were looking for this particular piece of the map, and it took them to this planet that was sort of like in the shape of a cube, and they had these different rooms that they had to go through, and each room had a specific test or trial or whatever that they needed to overcome. Now, they realized that, once they overcame the challenge, they had to go through a specific door and work their way through this maze of a cube to find the missing piece. Soon they realized that only at certain doors a white guard would appear, and they decided and developed the strategy to only go through the doors where the guard appeared, because it became obvious that these guards were protecting something. So as they made their way through the doors and defeated the different guards, they eventually found that missing piece. So in much the same way, when it comes to our lives, fear always acts as a guard that's protecting something precious. That would be you. So when you step out and pursue your dream and you realize that all this fear is coming up, it's going to be a little counterintuitive, but instead of resisting it, I want you to follow it, because that's the only way you can discover and draw out the thing inside of you that the fear is trying to protect. Now again, it's all about context here, okay? So man with knife, run, get out of there. Listen to your brain in that situation. But pursuing your dreams and goals, which could potentially lead to failure and rejection, but also just as equally lead to success and fulfillment, full steam ahead. You walk through that door, you'll be fine, I promise. So the second thing that you want to do to overcome the fear of taking action is simply walk it off. So you have this big dream in your heart of something you want to accomplish, but it's way outside of your comfort zone. So in order to actually do it, taking action is going to require you to be brave and to have courage. So here's a quote for you that I think is going to be really helpful. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is fear walking. So overcoming the fear of taking action doesn't mean you've somehow figured out a way to stop feeling the fear so that you can now move forward into action. Rather, it's the realization that that feeling of fear will only dissipate as you take the action. Hence, walk it off. So like I mentioned, the successful people that you aspire to be like are feeling all the same things that you're feeling. The only difference is they're taking action on those things that you are just too afraid to do. So they're feeling the fear, but they're doing it anyway. Cliche, I know, but cliches are a cliche for a reason, people. So the next time you have something you know you need to do and you are feeling absolutely terrified, acknowledge how you feel and then do it anyway. At some point you'll look up, the goal has been accomplished, and you'll realize that somewhere along the line, that fear you are experiencing transformed itself into excitement. So now I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever felt paralyzed by fear when it came to taking action on your goals? Do let me know in the comments how you've dealt with that before in the past, and whether you've picked up an insight from this video that's going to help you deal with it in the future. If you want to have a more personal chat with me, then head on over to Instagram. Send me a DM and you can ask me a question or share a comment or just tell me a funny story. So with that being said, be sure to subscribe to my channel to join the community. I would love to have you here. If this video resonated with you in any way, hit that like button, and if you think that it's going to help somebody else, then please feel free to share it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate your time and attention, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Like button. Hey, like how I am liking the sun right now? Not really. Mercy, Lord. Mercy. So close to the end. So close to the end. The devil is an enemy of progress, I tell you. Please hit that like button if you feel like it's no.